Hi, so in this video, I'll explain to you how to use Tough Tongue AI for conducting interviews. So I'll cover three parts: how to create high quality scenarios, what configuration to keep in mind, and third is that how you could send the link or conduct the interview. Now, where do we stand apart? So Tough Tongue AI is pretty good at conducting latest stage of interviews. Of course, we do a good job in screening interviews as well. So for example, in the cases where you want a whiteboard to conduct a system design interview, or open a notepad where someone could write down their thoughts, or give a code editor so that you can conduct coding interview. So all of these are possible with Tough Tongue AI. That is uniquely to us than other AI platform out there. Now, let me jump to the first piece that to conduct this interview, you have to first create a scenario. And for that, you have to go to the home page, go to advanced here. Now, there are a couple of ways here to create the scenario, but the most effective one is to go to edit with AI. And here, for example, if let's say I am conducting product manager at Zomato, that's where I'm conducting the interview. So just do that. In this case, what we do is that it's aligned with the best practices in creating the scenarios. We have fed it behind the scene how we have seen over different customers that what works. You could also click the plus sign and attach your job description template, or you can do deep research where our Perplexity, we have integration with Perplexity that searches the internet and finds the relevant question. This will take a couple of seconds and generate a high quality interview. Now the interview has been generated, so what you have to do is to click apply here and just close this tab. Now this is the first attempt at creating the interview. It generally does a good job, but you should pay attention to the AI instruction that how this interview has been conducted, whether you want to do product strategy, like do you plan to cover all these questions or not. For example, I don't want to cover analytics questions, so I can just cut it off. And similarly, I can reduce the time for other areas. I can reduce the overall time. I can add specific question that I want the interviewer to ask. So once I'm happy with it, I'll just do apply. Now the interviewer, the candidate also see the instruction, which is this one, on how to do this interview. You could also attach JD and all that we discussed. The AI also wrote the rubrics on which this interview will be evaluated. Of course, this will change based on your team's rubric, and we have seen customers going very extensive here, having discussion with the HR team, figuring out what is most important for this particular role. Then the third piece here is the analysis, that anytime the interview is conducted, you want to automatically submit the result. You want to get an analysis via email, and you also want to specify who should get the email. Now, one other thing to keep in mind here is that we don't give it in the free version, but we can enable for you to do multimodal analysis. So some of the customers work with us where voice modulation, mother tongue influence, professional background, all of these are really important. So we have built a feature of multimodal analysis that we can enable for you to do this. This comes with our business plan. Now, memory and all is not required because this is a one-time interview. You evaluate there. Just pick the model that you like here. In general, Ocean Medium Stable is the good one. Now, this is the critical piece, that after the interview is conducted, after how much time should the session be ended? That I said 2 seconds. I don't want any card and all to go here. I also don't want MCQ questions. In this case, I don't want image generation or timer. I do want Notepad, so that it opens a Notepad and I could write on it, and the AI interviewer could see. So those could be added here. If you are conducting, for example, coding interview, then again Notepad could be helpful. For system design, Whiteboard could be an helpful interview. Once you are happy with all of this, then there is appearance. So let's say you are conducting the interview in a different language, then here is what you can change the accent. You can upload an avatar or logo depending on what's your personal preferences. For now, I'll just click a magic avatar here, which will add an avatar to this interview. The second thing on the configuration side is that you should keep in mind that we have an option to always record. So in interview case, you want the video recording to be always on, and you also don't want the participants to get access to the analysis. So you have to click this on. So in this case, participants don't get the analysis, you get the analysis, and you get the video recording as well. So once you are happy with all of this, you can just hit create scenario here. Now, generally, customers spend a lot of time here trying to optimize it, making sure that it meets the requirement. So once your interview is created, you can directly interact with here. Now there are a couple of options. One is that you can directly, if the user is already using Tuftung AI and you want them to log in, then this link would directly work. In this case, I will just enable the camera and all, and a user could come here and interact, and it will auto record and do everything. The second option is that you can send an unbranded link for user to interact with and do the interview. So I'll go to the integrate page here, and in the full iframe, either I could put this 4 lines of code in my application and then control everything on my side, who logs in, who gets access to what. Second is, if I don't want to do all of that, you could also just copy the source URL here, so which I will do now. And so this will create a new URL where user could just interact and get an unbranded link and interact and do the interview. So here is a demo of how this works.
Hi there. Welcome to the Zomato PM interview. We'll be diving into product management topics today.
Sounds good.
Great. Let's get started. Could you briefly share your background and the specific PM role you're interviewing for at Zomato?
Yes, I'm Ajitesh. I've been a developer and product manager for over a decade now. Most recently, I was a product manager at Google, where I was part of a team applying Gemini into cloud infrastructure. So I'll just stop the interview here. But basically, this will record the video and audio as well, which we'll see in the analysis. Now, one thing to note is sometimes you don't want user to all the time get access to this link, because they could practice or do it again. So in that case, what you could do is a couple of things you should always do. One is the prompt user for username and email. Second, you also want a system check screen so that different permission checks and other are validated. So this will change the URL here. So I'll just copy the URL again. So I'll use incognito to show you that how this works. So in this case, every time the interview happens, the user have to first enter their name and email. So that way you know who you are interacting with and who is doing the session. Now in this case also, if they get the link, they can always practice or do multiple iteration. So what you could also do is that you could change, go to the scenario here, go to edit, and you can make this scenario private. And then you can add a passcode. So configure access, and let's say I, for now, keep it really simple. So in this case, now if I go to, this, so first I will put my name and email that identifies me. Then I have to put a passcode, which you could change anytime, maybe after the first interview. So that's it. So I showed you 3 things. One is how to create a high quality scenario, then a couple of configuration on how to make sure that it's always analyzed, always recorded. And the third part, I showed you a couple of ways in which you could share the scenarios. One was like just a link from our source URL in iframe that anyone can go and practice, do the interview. The second one is where you make the scenario private and protect it with passcode so that the user only with the passcode can interact with it. And in all of these cases, you can get the user information, that is name and email. So try it out and let me know if you have any feedback. Thank you so much.